Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving into something that's honestly shifted a lot of people's opinions on Newjeans. And sadly, it hasn't been for the better. What's caused all this? Well, it's the consistent pattern of lies and credibility issues that have surrounded the group recently. And honestly, it's what made me personally stop supporting them a while back. Not out of hate, but simply because actions speak louder than words. And the actions we've seen? They haven't been adding up. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it, because there's a lot to unpack. First, let's take it back to one of their biggest and earliest lies, the whole National Assembly situation involving Hani. If you're new to this, let me quickly break it down. This all started when Hani went live on YouTube without her company's permission and told a story about yall's manager allegedly telling yall members to ignore her in the hallway. This story blew up so much that the National Assembly themselves invited Hani to come and be a witness. And before attending, Hani went on their fan app phoning and assured everyone by saying, "I will be attending the National Assembly audit alone. I'm doing this for myself, my members, and bunnies." So from her own words, she made it crystal clear. This was her decision. No outside help, no manipulation, just her representing herself and Newjeans fans. Well, that's what she said. Because later Dispatch, yes, that Dispatch, the news network known for exposing the biggest idols with actual receipts, dropped a bombshell. They released a photo showing Hani right before she went to the National Assembly, hugging Min Hee-jin. You know, the CEO who's currently locked in a messy legal war against Hybe. But that's not even the craziest part. In the background of that photo, you can spot a Sejong law firm lawyer, the same law firm that now represents Min Hee-jin and Newjeans. So it turns out Hani wasn't alone at all. She probably had the full support from her ex-CEO and legal backup before she even stepped foot in the building. So already, her "I'm doing this alone" narrative completely falls apart. But unfortunately, it only gets worse from there. At the National Assembly, Hani tearfully shared her story, talking about how a manager from another group, which people figured out was yall's manager, allegedly told the members to ignore her. She described it emotionally, saying, "I was waiting alone in the corridor, and another group and one of their managers passed by me. We greeted each other well the first time. But later, when the group came out again with their manager, the manager said, 'Ignore her,' right in front of me. I could hear and see everything." She even cried while recounting this experience, which naturally caused massive sympathy for her and outrage against yall and their manager. The public immediately believed her. Yall got attacked online, and even casual fans started believing Newjeans was the innocent party. But not everyone bought it. Some people, smartly, decided to wait for actual proof. And thank God they did, because Hybe later released CCTV footage of the incident, and it told a very different story. In the footage, the yall members can clearly be seen bowing 90 degrees to Hani, and if you watch carefully, which a lot of people didn't at first, you can also spot Hani in the corner, bowing back to them. Now, Newjeans fans were quick to jump in and say, "That's not Hani, that's Danielle." But if you slow the video down and actually pay attention, it's very clear that it's Hani in the right corner. Then another excuse popped up. People said Hybe showed the wrong footage because it was dated May 27th, while Hani said the incident happened on May 28th. Sounds fishy, right? Until you realize yall wasn't even in Korea on May 28th. They were in Japan, meaning it would have been physically impossible for them to have crossed paths with Hani in the Hybe building on that date. So Hybe did the only thing they could. They pulled footage from May 27th, the last day both groups were in the country, and showed what really happened. And what really happened was, no one ignored Hani. They were polite, respectful, and there was no hostility whatsoever. So again, Hani's story crumbled with real evidence. But Hybe didn't stop there. They also released text messages between Hani and Min Hee-jin, and these texts showed just how deeply Min Hee-jin was involved in crafting the narrative. In the messages, Min Hee-jin is practically feeding Hani questions. At what point did you notice something off? Did they say it loud enough for you to hear? Did they all four ignore you when you greeted them? It genuinely looked like Min Hee-jin was guiding Hani to make the situation sound worse than it actually was. And what's even crazier, Hani herself said things like, "There's no need to go that far." Meaning, at first, Hani wasn't even treating it like a serious offense. She understood it wasn't that deep, but somewhere along the way, she still ended up standing in the National Assembly, crying and telling a story that didn't match reality. So what changed? It's pretty obvious when you look at the full picture. Min Hee-jin, a woman in her mid-40s, was manipulating a young idol in her early 20s to fuel a bigger narrative against Hybe. Seems to be grooming, and honestly, it's both sad and disturbing. Because this isn't just about a he said, she said moment anymore. This is about weaponizing emotional manipulation to gain sympathy, damage another group's reputation, and push a personal legal agenda. And while all of this drama is happening, real victims in K-pop exist. Groups like Everglow haven't been paid properly since 2019. That's 6 years of working without fair compensation. Meanwhile, Newjeans debuted with one of the most expensive rollouts in K-pop history. They got luxury brand deals, custom-built apps to talk with fans, millions in earnings, and yet they're framing themselves as the mistreated ones, it honestly doesn't sit right with me. And look, before anyone says it, no, I'm not hating on Newjeans just because. When a group lies repeatedly, damages others, and plays victim, it needs to be called out. Simple as that. And trust me, this isn't the last you're going to hear from me on this topic. I'm working on an entire series right now breaking down everything that's gone down with Newjeans, Minhee Jin, Hybe, and the lawsuits. It's way bigger than I thought, and way messier. And it starts with Minhee Jin, so definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be dropping either next month or a little after, depending on how much craziness keeps unfolding. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts respectfully in the comments. Malicious comments will be deleted and reported. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next upload. Thanks again, and bye for now.
Like in the future.